Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Eyes on the Mise. My name is John. That's Ian.
Hey, everybody.
It is episode 85. Battlebond tested, guild approved.
Yeah, there's a reason why that last one's there. We'll talk about it in a second.
Yeah, we will. We're going to talk about Battlebond previews because by the time this should be up, the full set gallery should be up. But we're going to talk about a few of the previews that excited us for both Two-Headed Giant play and otherwise. Also, there was an announcement day that happened last week that we're going to talk about as well. But first, we're going to look our eyes to the community real quick. Two things are going on that are kind of exciting right now. One, the Uncommon Cube by Ali Medwin is up on Magic Online. I've heard it's really awesome.
Yeah, I've seen nothing, but I have not gotten a chance to draft it yet. Life's been crazy. Moving stuff, prepping things, making buy lists to sell cards. But I've seen nothing but praise for this. People are ranking it like higher than the Legacy Cube.
Yeah, it's like Cube was ranking as of like Vintage Cube, Uncommon Cube, Legacy Cube. I'm like, dang.
That's some high praise because those are like some of the best in cubes. People, base their own off of them. But I'm excited to try it. I probably will give it a shot here maybe before it goes away next week. But that said. Yeah. But the other thing we have down, and this is my thing, is that on the 23rd, double checking, and yes, the 23rd of June, if you live in the Seattle area, there are currently 68 tickets left for the Canadian Highlander Tournament at Mox Seattle. Yes, kids, it's coming to Seattle. That said, I believe it's called There Can Only Be One, Canadian Highlander Tournament.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So the things about this are that there will be, no proxies are allowed. So unfortunately you have to actually own the cards, but Gold Border is, which means you can use your collector's edition cards. The prize pot is pretty spicy. We'll include a link to it there. So if you're in the Seattle area and want to play some Canlander, I already know of a couple people from Victoria that are coming down. I know Jeremy White's going to be coming down. I'll be playing in it. Lindsay's going to be playing in it. This, I believe, will be her first ever constructed tournament, so that's kind of cool. But, yeah, Canlander, Seattle, it's happening. End of June.
Yeah.
See you there.
I mean, also, I believe in Victoria, where the formula is popularized, Gold Border is already legal anyways, so that's not a huge departure with Mox Boarding House allowing it, so.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. This is just kind of spooling up to that thing. So, deck lists are required. Oh, price structure: $250 for first, $150 for second, $100 for third and fourth, $50 for fifth through eighth, and if they have over 55 players, 9th through 16th get 25. All in store credit. It's comp REL, so because of that,
nice.
It's weird. But it's not a sanctioned event, so you're not going to get Planeswalker points because it's Canadian Highlander and they're having proxies. But come on out, have fun, and it's great. We'll put a link to it, the event, in the notes.
Also, hashtag not an ad.
Oh, well, actually, yeah, because I just wanted to bring it up also because I had 12 tabs, I think, of recent Jeskai and Red Green aggro decks open just to see what has been done since the last time I actually updated my deck list was, and there were a couple updates I needed to make.
Yeah.
Oops.
There might be a few Battlebond cards you'll want for it, but we'll get to that in a sec. Because there were a lot of announcements that happened. Some of them we can talk about really quickly. A few of the others, there are other people who are better qualified than us who went ad nauseum about some of these decisions. So the quick things that we can talk about that don't really need us, you can go listen to Evan Irwin's rant from Magic Mike's or many other people about this. The China-focused Planeswalker decks have Zhang Yanggu and Mulan Ying.
There you go.
There we go. Got there. They are basically Planeswalker decks, except they are Chinese themed, obviously, based off of the names. The cards aren't super powerful. Mulan Ying, jeez. I am terrible at this. Her ultimate's really powerful. It's -10, tap all creatures your opponent's control, take an extra turn after this one.
Yep.
Really spicy. However,
Jang is the best. Jang is the best one because he's got a pupper.
He does have a pup. They come out June 22nd.
Oh.
They're legal in Legacy and Vintage and EDH. Cool, whatever. All Magic cards are.
Not going to be Modern legal.
Not Modern legal. Are legal in mainland China in Standard.
Yeah. So, a little awkward in terms, if you know anything about geopolitical stuff, that gets a little awkward.
It's a little awkward. We're not going to get into it. Also, to unpopular demand by some, the Buy a Box promos continue for Core 2019 as well as the fall set that we're going to talk about here in a second.
Look, I never got the ones for Dominaria. I never bought a box, but it was a rousing success with stores.
And that's who it was for.
And you know what? If it gave us a really cool card design for Boros that hadn't really had an aggro, all the Boros commanders had always basically been aggro based. This is a spell based one. People were happy about it. If we see more stuff like that, cool.
Yeah. However, the first time that there's one of those that becomes constructed playable, then we get to riot. But anyways.
Or if it's just a straight bad one and everyone's just like, why are you doing this? Then it's like, whatever. We'll see. It's cool. I like that they're trying it out for more sets. They're like, okay, it worked once. Let's see how it keeps going. It's a slow rollout. They're not like, it's not going to be permanent. It's 2 sets. It'll be fine.
But we now know the location of the next 3 sets after Core 2019.
Unless you were a huge Vorthos and already had a good inkling.
All signs pointed to Ravnica being where we're going to be for fall 2019 or fall 2018, winter 2019, as well as spring 2019.
Surprise! There's 3 sets.
Surprise! October 5th is Guilds of Ravnica, which is a large set that will have the Selesnya, Boros, Golgari, Izzet, and Dimir guilds represented. The January 2019 set is Ravnica Allegiance, featuring the other 5 guilds, Azorius, Rakdos, Gruul, Simic, and Orzhov. And then the Spring 2019 set, which we don't have a name for yet, we'll probably get that right around when Guilds of Ravnica comes out, I'm guessing. We don't know its name. However, it should be the penultimate chapter of the Bolas storyline for the Gatewatch.
As WotC had in their article, it is, we return to one of Magic's favorite planes, and the long, boiling war with Nicol Bolas reaches its crescendo. So it is
the climax.
Yes. Fun thing is, from the looks of what all that's come out about guilds and allegiance so far, is that it's kind of going to be a catch-up between, it's kind of like a, hey, what's been going on? The story so far kind of thing on Ravnica since, we left after, we see Jace bouncing in and out in some of the stories and stuff, but this is going to be like, hey, let's get everybody back up to speed. What has been going on the plane? It's been, 6 years?
It's been about 6 years every time we've been to Ravnica. Yeah, Ravnica, so as the timeline goes, Ravnica City of Guilds came out. After that was Time Spiral. After that was Lorwyn. After that was Alara. After that was Zendikar. After that was Innistrad. After that was New Phyrexia. After that was Innistrad. After that was Return to Ravnica. So that was about 6 years.
Yeah, and then we've had
Theros, Khans of Tarkir, Battle for Zendikar. I'm only counting fall sets, by the way. Kaladesh, Ixalan, Guilds of Ravnica.
Okay, I was about to say, because we skipped the whole second.
Like I said, because
of the fall thing. Yeah, I was about to be like, okay, thanks for the clarification, because I was okay, we good.
Yeah. So it's been about 5-6 years each time, which is the right amount.
And we wanted to kind of bring this up. We're going to move off of this and go to talking about Battlebond, because, oh my god, people who some more enfranchised players are like, oh, we're already going back to Ravnica. It's like, dude, it's been 6 years plus. Shh. John and I both, like, to give you an example, John and I both were not playing again when Return to Ravnica block was out. Yeah, it was in Standard when we started playing again, but we were not there for experiencing triple RTR block or triple RTR draft and all that kind of stuff. That was before our time. Like my first draft set was M14.
Like, I've drafted full block RTR. It wasn't good. I've drafted RTR about 3 times, and I've drafted Gate Crash like twice. So,
yeah. And it's just a case of like, look, we just be quiet, everybody, and just let people. Ever since RTR and Innistrad came out, like, Magic has just grown has grown massively since then, and there is an entire generation of Magic players who has never been to the plane. Just let's have some fun. All right.
Like, experiencing a set in Standard is not quite the same as experiencing it as it's coming out and seeing the spoiler season. Like, when Ian and I were first seeing, like, Theros, it was being couched with all the knowledge of what was already in Return to Ravnica. And so we already knew what was good in RTR. We already knew what was good in Gatecrash. We already knew what was good, aka Voice of Resurgence in Dragon's Maze. So
I'm pretty sure I came back right around like the time M14 was I think it was already being played.
I think my first event was the M14 pre-release.
I'll have to go back and check my Planeswalker thing because it'll probably show it there. But yeah,
regardless,
I'm pretty sure Theros was my first like actual pre-release. I blame Lur for it. Yeah, cool. Either way, don't be a dick.
Yeah,
let people enjoy things. That said,
this is a big thing. So each of these sets, Guilds, Allegiance, as well as the third set, they are a block. However, they are not being. Each set is being drafted independently. So you're going to draft triple Guilds. You're going to draft triple Allegiance. Then you're going to draft triple whatever the third set is.
Triple Bolus F's the plane up. Anyway,
basically, we'll see what it looks like.
Bolus block bashing, whatever. This is it's not even really a block. It's individual sets, kind of like Dominaria, and everyone's just like, I'll admit, I kind of was like, ugh. It's like Dominaria set 2 was sacrificed at the altar of Core 2019, but whatever. If it was, it was. If it wasn't, I'm not privy to that stuff. I don't work at WotC. It's fine. I'm happy. I'm honestly happy the core sets are back. So that's cool. I'm looking forward to it.
Core sets are always a nice palette cleanser.
They're a great place for
something
reprints.
That I've sorely missed.
You know, it's also a great place for reprints.
Draft sets like Battlebond.
Yeah. That supplementary product, yo.
Battlebond. So we knew Battlebond was going to be picante. We knew it was going to be real.
I don't know if saying picante off the bat was going to be a thing. It was going to be an interesting thing because whenever something is specifically designed with two-headed giant in mind, that's intriguing.
Yeah, it's like you had my curiosity. And then we see the cards, and it's like, now you have my attention.
Yes, absolutely. And there's stuff to love from, like, all sides of Magic here. Like, the flavor that is on this plane, it's just dripping with flavor. The cards in here, some really cool cards. There are also some ridiculous reprints that it's about freaking time. Yeah.
I did put a link to the mechanics article in the doobly-doo. So if you want to go check out, read Matt Tabak's amazing snarky comments about the mechanics, you can go and do that. We'll try to go over a few of them when they become relevant. The first card that I want to talk about is actually the first card on the preview gallery right now, which is Regna the Redeemer. She is 5 and a white for a legendary creature, Angel, at rare. She's a 4/4 flyer, as angels are wont to do. And it says at the beginning of each end step, if your team... So you and your two-headed giant partner, because remember, that's the whole kind of modus operandi for this entire set is two-headed giant play. Create 2 1/1 white warrior creature tokens. But she also has this line of text that says, partner with Krav the Unredeemed. Ian, what does Krav the Unredeemed do?
So Krav the Unredeemed is a 4 and a black legendary creature demon. It's a 3/3 who has partner with Regna the Redeemer. But Krav is a little hungry. Oh, because he also has black. And sacrifice X creatures. Target player draws X cards and gains X life. Put X +1/+1 counters on Krav the Unredeemed. He a hungry boy.
Yeah. So the partner text is basically an extension of the 2016 Commander product, where partner basically said, if you have these two legends, they can both act as your commander. However, this is specifically saying that you can use Regna the Redeemer as your commander because she is legendary. But you can also play Krav the Unredeemed as your commander, and you can play them both together, but not with any other partner pairs, which is an interesting kind of extension of the partner mechanic.
Yeah, it's kind of cool and definitely nice for two-headed giant. Oh, something we should note here. So this was kind of thing brought up. So it has partner with Krav the Unredeemed, right? And Krav has partner with Regna. Any card with partner, and Gavin Verhey, we'll put a link to Gavin's tweet thread about this and how the packs are sorted, that anything with partner will have that partner card in the pack.
And you can only have one partner pair per pack.
Correct.
Which is relevant because here's your two-headed giant draft lesson, kids. So in two-headed giant, for Battlebond specifically, it's 4 packs for draft, 6 packs for sealed. However, when you draft Two-Headed Giant, you and your partner will sit next to one another with 3 other teams. You will then open a pack. You will then, as a team, take 2 cards out of that pack and then pass the rest of the pack, which would then have 12 cards in it, to your left. And you will repeat that process for all 4 packs, passing left, right, left, right. So, if you open a partner pair, like Ragna and Krav, your team can go ahead and put both of them down, and then they are part of your pool.
And how the packs are seeded with this, according to Gavin, are the second partner always kicks out an uncommon. So if you have 2 uncommon partners, you'll have 3 uncommons. If you have 2 rare mythic partners, your pack will have 2 uncommons and 2 rares and mythics. If you open foil partners, the partner will also be foil. So you have 2 foils in a pack, so you can slam that extra value. If you oil foil rare mythic partners, you get a normal rare mythic in your pack as well.
But it can't be a partner, because you can only get 1 partner per pack.
So the example I use is say you get a spicy rare, and I can't say the cards you actually use because we haven't talked about them yet, but you can get a foil Ragna and Krav and a spicy rare.
So here's a reprint that I don't have on the list. Mind's Eye. It's a rare artifact. It's great in Commander. It's 5 mana. Whenever an opponent draws a card, you can pay 1. If you do, draw a card. You can open a Mind's Eye, and then you could open a foil Ragna and Krav.
Yeah,
as an example. So,
and the thing is for foil partners, if you do, they will replace 1 common and 1 uncommon. So the partner replaces the common, and the partner replaces the uncommon, and the foil replaces the common. But to have both, you have to have both foil. Have to take them out. It's weird, but it works. We'll put it in the notes.
The math works out. Now, Ragna and Krav have some really interesting things going on with them. Specifically, it appears that we have an angel and a demon that are kinda in love.
Kinda? Bruh.
Just a little bit.
Bruh. Alright,
just a little bit.
We got the first card, which was actually called Ragna's Sanction.
Mm-hmm.
So 3 and a white sorcery for each player, choose friend or foe. Each friend puts a +1/+1 counter on each creature they control. Each foe chooses 1 untapped creature they control and then taps the rest. It's great to just be like, lol, got him. But the card's name is the flavor for that one is from Krav, saying, show them the light, my love. The card's called Ragna's Sanction. And then we got a card the next day called Together Forever with Ragna and Krav basically doing the guild watch thing at each other, touching each other's hands. It's a white enchantment. When Together Forever enters the battlefield, support 2. That's right, kids. Support is back.
Yeah.
Reminder text. Put a +1/+1 counter on each of up to 2 target creatures. It also has pay 1. Choose target creature with a counter on it. When that creature dies this turn, return that card to its owner's hand. Great way to just dump counters on everything for counter matters decks and stuff like that. And then just swing wildly with them. Can be alright, cool. Get in.
Yeah. So these are cards. There's a cycle of the friend or foe cards. There's one other that I have on the list that we're going to talk about later that I really like. And then Together Forever is real spicy. I think it's going to be real fun. A lot of these cards I think are going to be real fun in Group Hug and Commander. Just putting that out there.
Oh yeah, for sure. This set is. We'll explain why at the very end, but I have a section that literally just says EDH Masters.
You put your Commander Masters in my draft product. You put your draft product in my Commander Masters.
Weird. Very
weird indeed. So Ian, let's talk about a card that I don't think they meant to make a cycle of, and now they're almost priced into doing it with Arena Rector.
Yeah, so Arena Rector of the Rector cycle basically is a 3 and a white 1/2 human cleric. When Arena Rector dies, you may exile it. If you do, search your library for a Planeswalker card, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle your library. That's right, kids. It cheats Planeswalker mana cost and puts it right onto the battlefield.
This is a kind of a pseudo reprint of Academy Rector, which is same mana cost, same creature types, same power and toughness, and same effect, except it gets enchantments.
Now people are
Academy Rector.
Yeah, people are enchantments are a little more busted because they've had the entirety of Magic to fall back upon busted enchantments. But, John, take it away about Planeswalkers.
So, cool thing with Arena Rector is that you can get things like Ugin, Nicol Bolas God Pharaoh, Garrick Apex Predator. Like, there's already people who've been toying
Karn.
around. Karns, yeah. Who's ready for 12 Karn in Legacy? I don't think that's actually a real deck. Try it, but I don't think it is.
I was going to say there's only 8, but then I'm like, oh wait, there's Karn Silver Golem, the actual pre-Planeswalker Karn.
There is Karn Silver Golem, but I was talking about Arena Rector being your 12. Well, anyways.
Yeah.
I got you. So Arena Rector is very, very powerful. How good it is in like older formats will depend explicitly on the play of graveyard hate cards like Deathrite Shaman, but because DRS kind of hoses this pretty hard. So, but it's a very, 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 very hype card, a very, very exciting card. I think this is
pairs well with Flash.
Pairs well with Flash. I also think that this is probably the most tame Rector that they could print.
Yes.
Because Creature Rector would be way too good, also wouldn't really be white. Only other Rector they could feasibly print would be Artifact Rector, and I think that's more busted than Enchantment Rector.
Tinker says, what up?
Yeah.
Like, seriously, that's just like Tinker on a creature.
Yeah.
And Tinker's busted.
Yeah, Tinker's Mark Rosewater's most busted card he's ever made.
Yeah.
Mark,
basically.
why you do this? Mark,
the art's amazing, though.
Art's great. All the art in the set is a little weird, a little different.
Well, I meant the art for Tinker, but yeah, the art for this one's cool. Oh, yeah. It's like...
It's hard to explain. The art direction in this entire set is interesting. I do like that it's very cohesive, though. That is good. That is one thing that I like.
Quite great. But yeah, Arena Rector is a heck of a card and definitely made a huge spot. People are definitely looking to put this in. I've already seen people making builds for Legacy Nick Fit.
Yep.
Which are ones that base off of another card we'll be talking about a little bit later. Actually, I'm just going to say it now. Veteran Explorer got a reprint as well. Yeah. Veteran Explorer is the one in a green.
No, I think it's just green. It's green 1/1. No.
Yeah, right. Yep, green 1/1. Human Soldier Scout. Mm-hmm. Interesting text line or type line there. When Veteran Explorer dies, each player may search their library for up to 2 basic land cards and put them on the battlefield. Then each player who searches library this way shuffles it.
Last reprinted in Commander 2016.
Yeah, Nick Fitz. Yeah, it's only been in Weatherlight, like Weatherlight, the set Weatherlight, way back in the day. Commander, the original Commander set in like 2012, and Commander 16. This is the first time it will be available in foil. Foils are going to be bananas expensive for this one.
Also new art, which is nice.
I think right now, yeah. Let me double check real quick because I'm seeing if it had like a judge printing.
It might have. I wouldn't be surprised.
No.
Okay.
So yeah, this is gonna be the first time. Like, I think the foil price already showing up as like $25 for this.
Makes sense.
Yeah, but I mean, hey, you gotta love those niche. What is it? I don't even know what.
Legacy reprintings?
Uncommon. It's not common.
Oh, yeah, it's uncommon printings, yeah.
But yeah, it's going to be great. Nick Fit, if you like weird toolbox decks, check into it. There's a massive like community that loves that card. But anyway.
It's also not blue, so that makes it like 50% cheaper than the blue decks in Legacy.
Yeah, it's like Abzan colored. So
yeah.
But anyway, yeah.
Next card on the list, speaking of white cards, is... So they made this card back in the day called Morphling, and it turned out to be really, really good. And then they removed damage from the stack from the rules, and it was still really good. And they've made Torchling, and they've made Thornling, and now they've made Brightling. It is 1 white for a 3/3 shapeshifter at Mythic. By the way, Arena Rector, also a Mythic. Brightling has 4 activated abilities. You can pay white to give it Vigilance, you can pay white to give it Lifelink, you can pay white to return it to its owner's hand, and you can pay 1 generic to give it +1/-1 or -1/+1 until end of turn.
And each of the Ling cycle cards have that, change the +1/+1 or -1/+1 to either make it defense or beat down.
And then the other abilities usually give it some sort of evasion, some sort of protection ability, which Brightling does in spades. Granted, having to bounce it to your hand instead of like Etherling or Morphling. Like Morphling gave it Shroud, Etherling exiled it and then brought it back at the end step.
But fortunately, Brightling is, unlike the other ones, which are like 5 mana, this is a 3 mana card, so you're not getting super punished on the return to the hand thing.
Yeah.
I think it's
a lot of people who, for a second, thought this would be Modern legal, which I think it'd be fine in Modern, honestly. But it is a card that I'm glad it doesn't see modern. It's not going to be played in modern.
It's
going to be interesting if it sees play in Legacy.
Because we were mentioning RTR block. That was where Aetherling was the control deck finisher, because you basically wait until you can actually play it and hold up a bunch of its abilities.
Yep.
The same would happen here. You'd be like, all right, wait till you're like 5 mana, so you can like give it lifelink to block and maybe plus it up or bounce it back. Yeah, it's dumb. It's crazy.
It does a whole bunch of things that are all very powerful.
Toolbox. Love it.
Yeah. Next is a card that I can only say in the Overwatch phrase.
Thank you. I was going to say like play of the game.
It is a rare sorcery for 6 white, which is a lot of mana, and it says exile all non-land permanents. But it also has the other mechanic in Battlebond, which is assist, which I think is going to be the most interesting mechanic for Commander.
John, let me help you out there.
Yeah, help.
Anyway,
help
so assist is another player may pay up to blank of this spell's cost. So another player may pay up to 6 of play the game's cost. You have to pay the colored costs. The generic cost can be paid by any other player. So in this case, you might be able to pay 4 mana, and your buddy, your partner, can pay 4 mana. And then you can tap your, like, because this is always the thing that people always got confused with originally with Two-Headed Giant, is that,
don't share mana pools.
There's no shared mana pool in Two-Headed Giant. This is a neat workaround for that in Two-Headed Giant, but also amazing in Commander, because you can play some politics like a mother in this.
Oh, yeah. So the rules are a little finicky with this. So, like, let's say that I'm in a 4-person game, and I play the game on the stack. And then I look at Ian and I go, Ian, would you be willing to pay 4 of this? And Ian says no. I put play of the game back in my hand. And then I will attempt to recast it. And I'll look to the next person and go, hey, Lindsay, are you willing to pay 4 for this in order to clear the board? And then if Lindsay agrees, then she would pay and I would pay, and then the effect would happen.
So you can actually like announce that you're paying it before you actually pay play it before you pay the mana?
So this gets into this weird thing of how, for example, currently, according to Magic rules, it is illegal for you to cast Squee from under Ixalan's Binding, because the first thing you do when casting a spell is you announce it and put it on the stack, and then you pay costs second.
Right, because I get so just bought into the Magic Online thing of I just float mana, cast the card out of my hand off the mana, so that's where it gets kind of weird and hinky.
Correct.
That's where people get confused on the rules. Okay, cool. So be like, play the game. I'm attempting to cast play the game. You want to help me pay for it? Nope. Can't play it. Illegal or a non-legal action.
Yeah.
That
does tie into one of my favorite assist cards, which is a blue card. It's Out of Bounds. It's 3 and a blue for an instant at uncommon. It's an assist counter spell. It just counters a target spell, and I think that card is going to be really fun.
Basically, any EDH deck that plays blue is going to put this in there.
Probably.
Well, I look at it this way, right? Because now that's how that works. I know that's how the rules work for assist. You can be like, someone plays something and everyone's like, oh crap. You're like, hold on. Do you want this to resolve? All right, Out of Bounds. You want to pay for it? You want to help pay for it?
The thing I want to do with Out of Bounds is I want to put a Wrath on the stack, and then I want to look at the person to my left and I go, here's Out of Bounds. Do you want to counter my Wrath? That's what I want to do. What? I want to hold the board. I want to hold the board hostage.
What? You're evil. You are evil. But yeah, as you can see, we're already like talking about a lot of these cards for EDH, which, you know, that's the thing. Like, oh, it's EDH playable, blah, blah, blah. But no, these are actually
like impact EDH in a very, very impactful way.
It's so cool. I like the play design on this was just amazing for so far for some of these. So those are those two. We mentioned some other partners, right?
Yeah.
Because so in the example Gavin gave, he might have mentioned some partners, but they're planeswalkers?
Yeah, so we have Will and Rowan Kenrith. They are both legendary planeswalkers. They both cost 6 mana. They both start with 4 loyalty. Their loyalty abilities are each +2, -2, and -8. They both say partner with the other, and they both say Rowan and Will Kenrith can be your commanders, which is great. But they could not be any further different from each other. Because Will is a blue planeswalker, 4 blue, +2 until your next turn, up to 2 target creatures until your next turn, up to 2 target creatures each have base power and toughness 0-3 and lose all abilities. -2, target player draws 2 cards. Then until your next turn, target instant sorcery and planeswalker spells that player casts costs 2 less. And then -8, target player gets an emblem that says when you cast an instant or sorcery spell, copy it and choose new targets.
Fork on an emblem.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Rowan.
Okay, I guess one.
Yeah, go ahead.
So Rowan is 4 red, 4 mana, or for 4 loyalty, legendary planeswalker Rowan. +2 is during target player's next turn, each creature that player controls attacks with Able. So basically goad, right?
Goad every creature, yes.
Yeah, goad every creature. -2, Rowan Kenrith deals 3 damage to each tapped creature target player controls. So a great way to kind of like give him a gotcha. And also to basically play and be like, go ahead, dare you attack with that X3.
Yeah, well, it has to, which is the best part.
Yeah, he goaded it. Oh my god, that's disgusting. I didn't realize that. All right, cool. And then Synergy. Hey, and -8, target player gets an emblem. Target player, mind you, gets an emblem with whenever you activate an ability that isn't a mana ability, copy it. You may choose new targets for the copy.
Guess what activated abilities are? Planeswalkers.
Yeah.
Also,
John, I'm going to call a judge on this one.
What's up?
Can I say target player, my opponent gets one, and then when they activate it, I get the copy, right? Or do they get it? Oh no, it's you get it. Because when target player gets the
target
emblem.
player gets the emblem, so they would choose the new targets.
Okay, so Rowan target my partner.
Sure.
Who has Will, and then Will ultimates, and then they get one. They get
an emblem, and you get an emblem.
Yeah.
Also, fun lore tidbit: Rowan and Will are the first blonde planeswalkers.
Yeah, crazy enough. It's like, wait, what? Really? And everyone's like, yeah. What do you know? Huh.
What do ya know? There was a great tweet about a bunch of the female planeswalkers like Huatli, Saheeli, Tamio, and someone else talking about where it's like, Rowan told us this is her favorite drink. Is this nutmeg?
God, yeah, the pumpkin spice latte one.
Yeah.
Oh God, yeah. Stereotypes
can be funny when they are not meant to tear down people.
No, but yeah, they also have a couple other cards in the set
that are great.
What's it called? It's Huddle Up.
Oh, yeah, Huddle Up. Huddle Up's fun.
Yeah. So they are also on the what's it called? Packs art.
Yeah, they're also on the booster packs, yeah. Speaking of assist cards, probably the most haunting art in the entire set is Game Plan.
This is weird art.
It's 5 and a blue for a rare sorcery with assist, and it says each player shuffles their hand and graveyard into their library, then draws 7 cards, so it's Time Twister for everybody, and you exile Game Plan, so no recursion for you. But per usual, Seb McKinnon can do these really esoteric,
freaky deaky
ephemeral,
arts.
Freaky deaky arts. It's really haunting. Seb McKinnon knocked it out of the park. This card's also really powerful. Even if you can't recur it like you can with like Time Twister, it's really freaking powerful.
As one of the commenters on Mythic Spoiler, where I pull my card art up for this, is saying it's like Seb McKinnon art? Check. Fits my Locust God deck? Check. Definitely getting this in foil. And my god, this will look amazing in foil. But
oh yeah.
This is a great way. I mean, we mentioned the other one, play the game with exiling things. Unless somebody has like the win con in their hand, I bet you dollars to donuts, if you're at an EDH table, somebody, when you play this for 6 mana, you're going to be like, hey, you got like 2 cards in hand, right? You want 7?
Mm-hmm.
You want to help me pay some mana costs?
Oh,
sweet.
Yes.
Game plan.
Oh, yes.
Like, what player with 2 cards in hand, unless they have their win combo in hand, are going to turn down 7 cards?
It's true.
Like, and the thing is, you could potentially draw that card again, because you got to shuffle. You shuffle the hand in the library, and then you draw the cards. You don't just draw the cards and then shuffle the other 2 in.
Yeah. Time Twister is a very powerful effect, guys.
It's great. And when you can help people pay for it, think about it. You could pay actual factual Time Twister mana of 2 and a blue, and have somebody help you pay for 3.
Mm-hmm.
Get there.
It's very powerful. Speaking of very powerful cards, we said that Arena Rector was very, very powerful, right? Would you rather have a 4-mana creature that has to die and get a Planeswalker into play, or would you rather have a 3-mana blue creature that you can pitch the Force of Will that can get Ancestral Recall?
Yes,
because Spellseeker, oh my god, it's 2 and a blue for a 1/1 human wizard at rare. When it enters the battlefield, you may search your library for an instant or sorcery with converted mana cost 2 or less, reveal it, and put it into your hand, then shuffle your library.
Yeah, so what people are saying is just get Momentary Blink.
That would be very spicy.
Yeah. So people have been calling this Thinket Mage. It's like as a play on the old Trinket Mage, which is a 2 and a blue 2/2, that when it ETBs, you search your library for an artifact card with convert mana cost 1 or less, which had the whole Trinket Trophy cycle of those things. So this is just grabbing instant or sorcery, that similar ability. In EDH... what were you going to say?
I prefer it as being part of the cycle of Imperial Recruiter and Recruiter of the Guard, because it searches something out of your library that keys off of the number 2.
And it's a 1/1?
And it's a 1/1, and it is Ethereal Recruiter.
Okay. All right. I like the fact that the Magic community is reaching out to both of those kind of cycles. It's kind of cool. However, the thing that I posited on Twitter is, in EDH, you know what this gets? Cyclonic Rift.
Gets a reset button.
And everyone's like, oh, that's just like bad because then people know about Cyclonic Rift. I'm like, what are you more afraid of? The unknown of Cyclonic Rift or the actual Cyclonic Rift that you know is in somebody's hand? Spoiler alert, it's the one that you know is there. It's the one you know is there because you know for a fact that you literally cannot build your board state out past a certain point, or someone should be like, yeah, undo all that.
Yeah. It doesn't get a whole bunch of, like, really busted stuff. Like, sure, it gets Ancestral Vision. It gets Ancestral Recall, which is probably the best thing it could ever get aside from maybe Time Walk, but that's contextual.
Someone had a list. Swords, Path, Counterspell, Terminate, Swan Song, a lot of the charms, some tutors, packs, stuff like that.
Demonic Tutor, Vampiric Tutor, Summoner's Pact. It gets Channel. You know, like, there's a lot of really busted things that Spellseeker can get.
She's a wizard, and you can play her in the Inala deck.
Yeah.
Which is also wizard-centric, and with Inala, you can copy the ability, or even Naban.
Yeah, but what instance are you getting in an Inala deck?
I don't know. Win cons?
What instance are you getting?
John, I don't know. I don't play Inala.
That's fair.
No, but seriously, though, like, you can play this with, like, in a wizard-centric deck with something like Inala and Naban and just get, like, 3 triggers.
Mm-hmm. So, I want to talk about 3 reprints real quick before we talk about one more new card that was previewed today. These are cards that have... Well, one of these cards has gotten a reprint, but the other 2 have not. One of them is Sower of Temptation, 2 blue for a 2/2 fairy wizard with flying. When it comes into play, you mind control a creature until Sower of Temptation leaves the battlefield. First reprint since Lorwyn.
Yep. It's only ever printing.
Yeah, it's only printing. And it is a cube staple. It's also very powerful in Commander, obviously. Next card is True Name Nemesis. First printing in foil.
True name.
Yeah, first printing in foil. Also, like, it's going to be $1 bajillion, probably.
Okay, so quick side note on True Name Nemesis.
Yeah.
In paper, about a $20 card. Online, about 70 tickets. Because it was only ever in, like, the pre-cons that came out in 2013. And I think it had the...
I think it's in the treasure chests. I don't know for sure. I assume it is.
It did have one the legendary cube treasure chest. The legendary cube prize packs.
Right, yeah. That's going to be good for Moto.
However, remember, this set's not necessarily going to hit Magic Online. However, it has some of the people who work on Magic Online have tweeted about the fact that they are looking to get some of these Battlebond cards that will see some Commander play into the treasure chests or another way to get them online.
Yeah.
Don't know, haven't been exactly how, but the fact that people have said that we are going to get some of these cards, like, you will get to see game plan most likely. You will probably see play the game on there. Stuff like the Kenrith siblings are going to be there. Ragna and Krav, people that might be Commander pairs that you might want to play, kind of thing like that. You'll see them.
Yeah. Other reprint is Mystic Confluence. It's a very powerful card in multiplayer. Also a very powerful card.
Fiery Confluence or we riot.
Please? That card's surprisingly expensive right now.
Yeah, it's like almost $30 right now. It wasn't. It was like one of the cheaper ones, but you can thank Mono Red Prison for that in Legacy.
Yeah.
Seriously, it plays 4 of, because the card is just dumb. For 4 mana, you can hit your opponent for 6 damage. Okay. Sure.
Also, you can shatter a bunch of artifacts. You can deal damage to a bunch of creatures. It's really, really good. Next card I want,
Like, it doesn't get rid of True Name Nemesis.
It does not do that. That is correct.
But yeah, it's dumb. It's great. Moving on.
Next card I want to talk about is Zindersplit's Judgment.
Zindersplit.
Yep. Spelled Zndrsplt, which lets you know that this little homunculi in the same vein as Fibblethip, she's one of the partner pairs. She's partnered with the Okon Eye of Chaos, which is another one, the blue-red legendary partner pair. It's a sorcery that says, for each player, choose friend or foe. Each friend creates a token that's a copy of a creature they control, and each foe returns a creature they control to its owner's hand. This card is actually really strange, because there's times where you're going to want to name yourself as a foe.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I want to bounce this. But it's sorcery speed, unless you have ways to make sorcery speed cards played as instants, which they do exist.
Yeah, it's really fun.
Fun lore fact, according to the flavor text on this, Cindersplit was actually a former official, a judge,
yeah,
an actual referee. And by the way, we didn't mention it for what was it? Out of Bounds. Like we see in that art, the officials actually wear striped shirts. It's kind of great, and I love it.
Of course.
Also, there are other cards that have goblins that cosplay as their favorite people in the arena, and there's a goblin that's cosplaying as Zindersplit. So a goblin cosplaying as a homunculus is just the greatest thing ever.
Oh, of course.
It's so cool, and I love it. I said, the flavor's amazing with this.
Yeah. Next card that I want to talk about, or we want to talk about, is Stunning Reversal. Ian, what does Stunning Reversal do?
Oh, God. Oh, there it is. I was like, okay, it's here. So Stunning Reversal is a 3-and-a-black mythic instant. The next time you would lose the game this turn, instead draw 7 cards and your life total becomes 1. Exile Stunning Reversal.
No shenanigans for you, Stunning Reversal.
Wow. That's a card.
Yeah, anything that can stop you from losing the game is really powerful.
It's literally 1 is not 0.
Yeah, it's so, if this costed 1 less mana, they could actually just be broken in older formats. But the fact that it costs 4 mana, that's a lot of mana in, Legacy.
Yeah. The thing with the drawing 7, total becoming 1, and I love that it's draw 7, because usually sometimes we see stuff like this, where it's draw 3 or draw 4s, you get to reload completely. But just like the art by Zoltan Boros, which is amazing, they're literally hanging on by their fingertips, and that's what you're doing at 1 life with a full grip of 7. You can claw yourself back from the brink if you build your deck around the ability to potentially be able to just pull off a Stunning Reversal and come back from the brink.
Oh yeah,
and by the way, that's draw 7. That's draw 7 cards. Yeah, that's not draw mana and discard
for 4 mana at instant speed. So it's okay, you're done with your turn. Okay, my turn, and you have at least 8 cards in hand, if not more.
Well, the thing is that would be your opponent. You swing out and you can feign the alpha attack and be oh crap, I forgot to actually map this out. You guys actually have lethal on me. Oh man, got him.
Whatever will I do?
Lol, got him. But then again, remember, it's the next time. So once you've used up that time, your opponent can still just be all right, you're at 1, you drew 7 cards, bolt you, you're dead.
Yeah, it doesn't save you from Storm, sadly.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Saves you from lethal damage though. It does do that.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, as long as you're able to stave off getting pinged at any point at all by the time you're able to possibly come back. It's cool, and I think it's an amazingly cool design.
Also, it doesn't stop you from losing the game from your opponents winning the game. Those things don't overlap. Just FYI. Next card that we're going to talk about, because man, there's so many cards we want to talk about, but only so little time. Najila the Blade Blossom. I probably mispronounced that name. Najeela.
Double E, by the way.
Najila? I guess. She is a 2-and-a-red legendary creature, human warrior at Mythic. She is a 3/2. Whenever a warrior attacks... Yeah, great stats. Whenever a warrior attacks, you may have its controller create a 1/1 white warrior creature token that's tapped and attacking.
Okay.
Note it doesn't say non-token warrior, so...
Why is it a Mythic, though?
Oh, it's a Mythic because it has an activated ability for Wooburg.
Go on.
Untap all attacking creatures. They gain trample, lifelink, and haste until end of turn. And then after this phase, there is an additional combat phase. Activate this ability only during combat. So,
if you have a way to cast Wooburg, so Wooburg twice, yeah, you can attack, activate the ability, get another attack step, attack, activate the ability. 3 attack phases is pretty good. Oh, and a nice cheeky little include there is haste until end of turn, because her warrior tokens come in tapped and attacking.
So they don't have haste.
Yes, when you untap it, it technically is still summoning sick. Which is a kind of cool little workaround for that. Because they could have said a 1/1 white warrior with haste, but that's not in White's color pie usually.
Usually, no. Also, it is the first 5-color warrior tribal card. So now you can play your Anaphins the Foremost in the same deck as your Alicia who smiles at death, as well as a bunch of other warriors, because warriors are awesome.
Boldweir the Intimidator, Cowards Can't Block Warriors. Also in the set, by the way.
Everyone knows what you are.
Dude, this card is dumb and I love it. Like, she's like, a red commander, but Wooburg commander. Like, so many people are freaking out. I know Shivan loves his warriors.
Yes.
Dude loves his warriors.
Speaking of bonkers magic cards, Ian, tell us about Bramble Sovereign.
Dang. Okay, so Bramble Sovereign. 2 green for a 4/4 creature Dryad at Mythic. Whenever another non-token creature enters the battlefield, just anyone, you may pay 1 in a green. If you do, that creature's controller creates a token that's a copy of that creature. Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Very good.
It's ridiculous and crazy, and there's got to be a way to break it.
I mean, do you really want to know? I mean, there's Panharmonicon, but Panharmonicon is always a card, and will forever be in our hearts.
Very true.
It's also just a 4-mana 4/4. It's just really good.
Yeah. Even so, if you're playing this card in like a green creature kind of toolboxy deck, you can always just wait till like you start casting stuff. You play Bramble Sovereign, and then you start playing like a 3-drop and then a 4-drop when you're curving out on your. So you start like dropping back down in the mana curve, but start making copies of everything you play. Plus, if you have stuff like what's the. Not the one that's in the set. Parallel Lives, that's what I'm thinking of.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Or, card that is in the set, Doubling Season.
Yeah, spoilers, by the way. Like, Doubling Season is in this set. EDH Masters, what up? Like, thank God we got that card again, because that was getting up there. It was like a $50, $60 card.
I'm really happy it's getting a reprint. Personal opinion, I don't think the art represents what it is.
Oh, I am 300% with you on that one.
I think the art is good.
The art looks like it was made for a land. Like it looks like it was made for a land that is the arena. But then they scrapped the arena card, the card of the competitor arena at Valor's Reach, and then we're like, Doubling Season. Where's the art? Yeah, sure, Doubling Season. It's weird.
Question mark? Yeah.
Yeah. If you look at the art for the new Doubling Season, it's that. Like the key art that they showed the other day. I guess not key art anymore, but it's the art of the arena with like kind of the promenade leading up to it. That's Doubling Season. It's like, to be fair, the Judge / Modern Masters one kinda didn't really represent much about it either.
Doubling Season is in and of itself a really weird concept to get across anyway. So
Doubling Season, by the way, for those who aren't aware of the card, is 4 and a green enchantment. If an effect would put 1 or more tokens into play under your control, it put twice that many into play instead. And if an effect would place 1 or more counters on permanent you control, it places twice that many on permanent instead. So if you are using this lovely Bramble Sovereign and you pay 1 and a green and you have Doubling Season out as well, you get 3.
You get
2. It. Well, I'm saying you get 3 of it. The one you have originally and 2 tokens.
You get... Yeah, sure. You get the one that you played, and then you pay the 1 in a green, and then you get the copy, and then Doubling Season makes another copy. Okay.
Yeah, you get 3 of whatever you've just cast for that card's mana plus 2.
Yeah. Also, this card can't be reprinted in Standard because Planeswalkers.
Oh. Wait, right. Original Ravnica came out before Planeswalkers were a thing.
It did. For those of you who are wondering, when you play a Planeswalker with Doubling Season in play, it enters with twice as much loyalty. However, the loyalty abilities do not double with Doubling Season because those are costs, and those aren't effects. which is what doubling season would double.
So you could literally just like ultimate Teferi, right?
Yes.
That's great. And he still survives.
New Teferi, yes.
Yeah, because it's -8, right? It comes in with 5?
New Teferi comes in with 4.
-8, right?
It is -8, so he would die, but...
Okay, so you need another effect. But still, I mean, 5 mana for Teferi's ultimate? Sure, okay.
You play Nicol Bolas, Godfrey, you get to ultimate him immediately.
You can play and kill Ugin.
You can play and ultimate both Tamios.
Ugh.
Yeah.
That's gross and I love it.
It's very gross. Doubling Season does really unfun things in Commander, so play it at your own risk.
So you're going to talk about that one?
Well, we're running low on time.
We can just talk about this one real quick.
Yeah, go ahead and talk about it.
So Archon of Valor's Reach, 4 green and a white for a 5/6 Archon with Flying, Vigilance, and Trample. So it's got Vigilant Flample. As it enters the battlefield, choose Artifact, Enchantment, Instant, Sorcery, or Planeswalker. Players can't cast spells of the chosen type.
I wonder what format this card would be good in.
Gross.
I've seen talk about it being an Oath of Druids targeted vintage.
Yeah, people are also like saying like, I mean, it's slightly kind of better than Emeria. She doesn't hit, or Iona, Shield of Emeria.
Yeah.
Like, Iona, you might name the wrong color. This, you can be like, well, I'm playing against Storm, so slam this in a Reanimator build. Be like, choose Sorcery, you can't cast Tendrils. GG's.
I mean, it depends what you want, because another card that I know sees play in some of those decks types is like Dragonlord Jamoka, where your opponents can't cast spells on your turn. So, it depends. It's contextually good.
I mean, you play that, and then you say Sorcery, and then like they're literally locked into Sorcery instance. It's kind of gross.
Oh yeah, it's very powerful. It also locks you out, so be aware of what you're doing when you play it.
Yeah, definitely. Don't be like, I do this, and then cast. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah. Feels bad.
But there were also a lot of other reprints that are for Pauper, for Commander, for Legacy, for Modern even in this set.
So I'm going to rattle off a couple of these, because these are ones, if you play, you should know. Spell Snare. You know, your simple blue counter CMC mana 2 spell. Cool. Impulse. 1 in a blue, instant. Look at the top 4 cards of your library, put in your hand, put the rest on the battlefield in any order. Doom Traveler.
Or bottom of your library.
Bottom of your library,
you said battlefield.
Yeah, I said library. Wow.
You said battlefield.
Doom Traveler, 1/1 for white, that, you know, when it dies, you get a spirit token. Works great in those kind of like, what's it called?
Aristocrats.
Yeah, Aristocrats decks. Fertile Ground. 1 in a green, enchantment aura, enchant land. When it's tapped for mana, it adds 1 mana of any color to the mana pool. We have a lot of crazy mana costs here. I mean, you saw, what's her name? The Nagila. Yes. There you go. There's some way to fix it. Green gets some fixing. Sweet. Swords of Plowshares. Sweet. Peregrine Drake. It's an uncommon, and it's still banned in Pauper. Stop it. The aforementioned Veteran Explorer. Beast Within. 2 in a green instant. Destroy target permanent. They get a 3/3 beast out of it, but you can destroy a troublesome thing and just, you know, handle the 3/3 beast. Whatever. Seedborn Muse. This card is like $30-$40 now for some ridiculous reason. 3 green, 2/4, creature spirit. Untap all permanents you control during each other player's untap step. In EDH, that's 4 untap steps. That's gross.
Is very good.
Chain Lightning, a $7 uncommon. It's great. It's a red sorcery, deals 3 damage, and if somebody else has red, they can copy it. Alright, cool. Core Spirit Dancer for you Boggles fans out there. Much needed reprint there. Tidespout Tyrant, just a ridiculous 5 blue 5/5 flyer. Whenever you play a spell, return target permanent to its owner's hand. That card can get ridiculous quick, right?
Yep.
Have you played with that one?
Which one? The
Tidespout.
Oh, I've not played with Tidespout Tyrant though.
It's dumb though. Like you're not looking. I mean, I've seen it hit some lists. It's like what's it called? Show and tell.
It's usually played, show and tell, where it's like and bounce your land.
It's like played a denial strategy. Good GG's.
Yep.
And Lure had a great one. Mycosynth Lattice.
Yeah, that card hadn't been printed before.
Yeah, like
or reprinted.
6-mana artifact from Darksteel.
Darksteel, yes.
Yeah, from Darksteel. Only ever printing, by the way. All permanents are artifacts in addition to their other types. All cards that aren't in play, spells and permanents, are colorless. Players may spend mana as though were mana of any color. Card is ridiculous, and there are so many ways that can be abused.
Oh yeah.
the fact that like we're getting stuff like this in this set is why people are saying it's EDH Masters. A lot of those cards, yeah, great in certain formats, but they're all just like staples of EDH. Well, maybe not Chain Lightning, but we'll talk about that one.
Yeah, the big thing that has been kind of the running theme for the past few years, and I think you would agree with me on this, is that we have these master sets that come out that are these $7 to $10 booster products, right? That have really, really cool cards. And it's just like, okay. And then no one plays with them. Because the set isn't open a lot because the booster pack prices are much, much higher, or double of what they normally are.
By the way, a lot of those cards I just mentioned are cards that, yeah, might get a lot of reprints. Like Source of Plowshares gets a ton of reprints. It's still like a $3 to $4 card.
Yeah.
Spell Snare, $5 card. That's an uncommon. Yeah. Chain Lightning, uncommon, $6 card. Like Beast Within, $3 card at uncommon.
But then you look at these draft products. You look at Conspiracy. You look at Conspiracy Take the Crown. You look at Battlebond. These are booster products being sold at regular price, and everyone's in love with them because, sure, there are the high highs like because Take the Crown. It had Show and Tell and had Berserk and had a bunch of other stuff. This set.
How could you forget Leovold?
I was talking about reprints, but
reprints. Oh yeah.
And this set has like True Name Nemesis, right? And this set's going to make more True Name Nemesises than Nemesis than Masters 25 would make Jaces. Solely because the Master sets have a limited print run. Even if they aren't a huge print run, they have a limited print run, whereas these sets, Battlebond and Conspiracy, have much, much wider ranging implications because you can draft these so much easier.
And what's great about some stuff like True Name Nemesis is we get foil printings of some of these cards that have only ever seen play in these commander decks or printed in these commander sets and stuff like that. So,
like Gavin did a Twitter thread where it's like we can't put True Name Nemesis in Masters 25. We can't put it in Eternal Masters. It's too format warping, it's straight busted in something like a Conspiracy set. Well, in a Conspiracy set, it's worse. Like you can print this in this set because, and like in this kind of
because you only have one opponent.
Conspiracy because you have multiple opponents, and so its power level is much worse. Like I have read because I think a few years ago, Aaron Forsyth, who I think was one of the people who designed this card, was like, if I had to change this card, it would be gain protection from all players except the named person.
Huh.
Because it says like when it comes to play name an opponent, and then you gains protection from all other players.
Oh yeah, it would see literally no play because in a 1v1 game,
it would have protection from no one.
And it should be a 3-1.
Or a 3-1, yeah. So it's a very, very spicy card that is very powerful as written in one-on-one formats, and so they can't put it in a master set.
I mean, to be 100% fair, True Name Nemesis was a mistake.
In many ways, True Name Nemesis...
I understand why it was printed in the set that it was, but they done goofed a little bit. It's one of those, like, before they really were it was printed in a time where they weren't, like, really kind of focused
at what they were doing.
Is this card straight busted in an older format where it's one-on-one?
Yeah. Anyways.
Mentioning, Highlander. I played in my Highlander deck because, against...
Isn't it pointed?
It is. It's pointed. It's 1 point.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, 1 point. But it's a card where in one-on-one formats like that, some decks have literally no answer to that card other than I have to beat you before this card beats me.
Yep.
But I'm looking forward to Battlebond. Trying to see my schedule, see if Lindsay and I can swing that two-headed giant thing. My dad's going to be in town, I think, that weekend, so that'll be interesting to see if I can swing it. Be like, Dad, how do you want to play Magic now? I'll figure it out. If not, I'm going to get a box and we'll play some friends before I leave the area here. Or, hell, I'm going to Vegas, so...
You'll find friends in Vegas. Or if not, you'll make some.
Oh, I'll have friends in Vegas. You won't be there, unfortunately, but...
No, I won't.
There will be other people to play with.
There will definitely be other people for you to play with. Anyways, Ian, it's about that time.
Yeah.
If people want to find you on these social medias, where can they do so?
You guys can find me on Twitter at DixonIJ. That's DIXONIJ. And you guys can find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Dix. Side note, and I keep saying this, I'll be streaming. I'm not going to... If I stream between now and, say, the middle of July, that's going to be cool. But I have a giant move coming up, and the more I'm looking at my schedule, I realize that there's just really no time for me to stream. So, unfortunately, I have to shelve that until I move, get a new place, get settled in, and then I'll be hitting it hard back on that. But I'll still be tell you my Twitch handle because, sure, give a follow the channel, and I might stream it. It'll be fun. John, where can they find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at JWiley129. That's JWILEY129. I'm also on Twitch at the same handle, so if you see me in a chat room, don't hesitate to say hi. You may have noticed there's a stop to YouTube videos that I've been putting onto my YouTube channel, aside from the podcast ones. That's because Moto decided to die on me the other day, and I haven't gotten a response from Wizards as to why.
Wait, like straight dead?
It will not load.
What?
Yeah.
Like, you've uninstalled it, reinstalled it?
Yeah, won't work.
Oh, honey.
Yeah. I'm going to send another support ticket tomorrow, but... Or
you might have to
on Twitter.
Do some registry edits and stuff.
Maybe, we'll see.
Ugh.
But if you want to catch that stuff, you can find some of my YouTube stuff at YouTube under the username Well of John, where also the YouTube versions of this podcast go up. Now, if you want to reach the podcast directly, you can do so in two ways. You can find us on Twitter at EyesOnTheMise, or if you have a more personal question, you can shoot us an email at eyesonthemise@gmail.com. We would love to hear how we can best improve the podcast for you, our lovely listeners. On behalf of Ian, I'm John. Thank you all so much for listening, and we'll talk to you all next time.